What's going on, my trainer club? Today we are going to check out the Ho-Oh counter guide in Pokemon Go to make sure you know everything you need to know about Ho-Oh, the 100% IVs, the weaknesses, the strengths, how to beat it, and hopefully get you a shiny. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, are you excited to get after Ho-Oh, or are you more excited to keep raiding the Zekrom in Pokemon Go? Let me know in the comments below. And do you have the shiny Ho-Oh, or is it a priority for you during this event? So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over all the top counters, 100% IVs, party makeups, and everything that you need to know to make sure to take down a Ho-Oh and try to get you 100% IV, or even get you a shiny. So let's get into it right now. Ho-Oh is going to be a fire and flying type Pokemon. It's going to max out at 3863 as far as the 100% IV maxed out at level 40. It's going to have an attack at 239. It's going to have a defense of 244, and it's going to have a stamina of 214. So it's definitely higher tiered. Nothing that really excels to the absolute top, but it is a tanky type Pokemon. So with it being fire and flying, the weaknesses are going to include double weak to rock, single weak to electric, and single weak to water. And it's going to have a lot of resistances actually, which are going to include double resistant to bug and grass. It's going to be single resistant to fairy, fighting, fire, ground, and steel. And Ho-Oh's movesets are going to include a bunch of different things. And just so you guys are aware that the earthquake that we did unlock during that 4-week research throwback challenge was going to be a legacy moveset right now. So that one is not available. So if you do happen to catch this Pokemon and you have 100% IV, in order for you to get that moveset on this Pokemon, you are going to have to unlock the Earthquake combination. The fast moves are going to include Extra Sensory. We have Hidden Power, which can be a gambit of different things. And when we also have Steel Wing. The charge moves are going to be Brave Bird, Solar Beam, which is going to pose a big problem, as well as Fire Blast. The reason that the Solar Beam is going to pose a problem because 2 of the 3 Pokemon that are going to be strong against this are going to be weak to grass. So Rock is weak to grass, as well as Water is going to be weak to grass. And since Solar Beam is such a dominant moveset, it's going to be very hard to handle. Honestly, guys, that's one moveset that is like just going with a big party. As far as the parties to beat the Ho-Oh, I would say the absolute minimum is probably going to be 4 people. That's going to be with level 40 trainers. I'm probably going to say that maybe under the right circumstances, with friendship boosts, with weather boosts, with maxed out level 40 Pokemon, you probably could beat it with 3, but I would say 4 and up if you are pretty high level trainers, and then 5 and 6 and up if you are medium trainers, and to be really safe, 8 plus would be the absolute ideal place if you are lower level trainers, which then is going to lead us into the 100% IVs. 100% IV at level 20 under no boosted conditions is going to be 2207. But since it is going to be a fire and a flying type Pokemon, it's going to get boosted under 2 conditions, which are going to be windy weather as well as sunny weather, because it's going to be that fire and flying type Pokemon. It is going to be boosted all the way to level 25 at 2759. So if you guys do want a weather boosted one and you do have sunny weather, as we are having right here, which is very hot out here, you can definitely do that. So without further ado, guys, I think we have all of the bases covered. We are now going to get into the top counters to make sure you guys have the right counters set up during this time frame. So let's check it out right now. Counter number 1 and number 2 are going to be rock type Pokemon. So counter number 1 is going to be Rampardos. Rampardos is the highest DPS times TDO attacker for the rock category. The downfall to this Pokemon is it's going to be weak to steel as well as the grass. So it's going to be slightly problematic for these Pokemon when you do have Solar Beam coming in. So I'm going to suggest at the end of this to have a party buffer like I usually do that's going to sit in the number 1 spot. That's going to be the safest counter overall. So that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be another Pokemon that I dearly love. It's going to be Terrakion. Terrakion Smackdown Rock Slide. Again, I love the Rock Slide because it gets off so frequently. Smackdown's a dominant move as well. This Pokemon unfortunately has one more weakness in addition to the grass, as well as a steel, which is going to be psychic because it is a rock and a fighting type Pokemon. So these Pokemon are going to be the 2 premier attackers. They're relatively easy to get. I'm sure that you guys probably do have at least a good Cranidos or Rampardos, and I'm sure that you probably have a good Terrakion as well, since we've already seen it twice in raids. So if you guys do decide to power it up, you can. Doesn't really need to, because I would suggest partying with a lot of trainers during this to make sure you're doing, which is then going to lead us to counter number 3. Counter number 3 is going to be the Comday move of the Rhyperior with Smackdown as well as Rock Wrecker. So beast moveset combination. Love this Pokemon. However, This Pokemon is ground and rock, double weak to grass. Solar Beam is an absolute no-go. One hit KO'd every single time. If you do plan to use this, just know that you're either gonna have to dodge it for one or you're gonna be churning through a lot of Pokemon and a lot of potions for this one. And then what once was the premier rock type attacker after the Calm Day is now in the 4th spot, which is gonna be Tyranitar with the Smackdown Stone Edge combination. The only reason that I'm not the biggest fan of the T-Tar anymore, Stone Edge takes a long time to charge. Not the biggest fan of this Pokemon for this reason. The one good thing about the Tyranitar is it's gonna be double resistant to the Psychic. However, not the biggest deal because Psychic, as far as the quick move, not gonna be the biggest deterrent of all of these other Pokemon. Then in counter number 5, we have Aerodactyl, Rock Throw, Rock Slide, followed by the Landorus, which is going to be Rock Throw, Rock Slide as well. The cool thing about the Landorus is paired up with a flying type. It's only going to have 2 weaknesses, and the weaknesses are not going to include any of these Pokemon here. So that Pokemon is going to be safe to use right now as well. Then we have the Gigalith, which is going to be Smackdown, Rock Slide, followed by the Omastar, which is going to be Rock Throw, Rock Slide combination. The one thing about the Omastar is it's going to be double weak to the grass as well. And then counter number 9 and 10, we do have the Rock Throw Stone Edge combination for both of the Alolan in 9 and regular Golem in 10. And then counter number 11, we do have the Smackdown Stone Edge combination for the Aggron. Not the biggest fan of this Pokemon. It does have a lot of resistances, but I would definitely say to steer clear if you're trying to beat it in a friendly time frame. However, the one cool thing about the Aggron is it's pretty prevalent. Some people do have easily at least close to max ones. It's not also going to be weak to any of the moves, so it's definitely a Pokemon that can be easily played with. If you catch a level 35 in the wild, you evolve it and put it as your #1 counter to make sure to see what the moveset is. And then we have Archeops with Wing Attack and the Ancient Power. Not the strongest Pokemon, but it does do damage. And then in counter 13, we do have the Zekrom with the Charge Beam and the Wild Charge combination. I already love the Zekrom, so here's a good Pokemon that is not going to be weak to any of the moves that it's going to be throwing out. So what you could do is use a Zekrom also as a buffer if you've already got a good one and maxed out. Instead of using that Aggron, it's powerful. It's going to exploit the electric weakness that is going on here. And then in counter number 14, we have the Crustle with the Smackdown Rock Slide as well. So with that said, if you guys do want to pause any of the information, you guys can definitely do so here. We are now getting into some of the more budget counters. So if you want to see what they are, what their movesets are, make sure to go back, rewind, because as I'm talking, I'm popping them up over here so you guys can make sure to pause and take in all the information as well as the movesets as well. All right, guys, so how is the weather conditions going to be affecting fighting and taking down Ho-Oh in Pokemon Go? So as far as sunny weather, it's going to boost Ho-Oh all the way to level 25. It's also going to boost its Fire Blast. So Fire Blast is not really a threat of a move, so during this situation, not really a big deal. However, the sunny weather also boosts Solar Beam. So during the sunny weather, rock and rock ground combination Pokemon are an absolute no-go, including the water type Pokemon as well. So guys, be careful if you do choose to use something like the Kyogre, which is relatively down on the counter list. We didn't cover it in specific, but it's ranked 21 because since the Ho-Oh is going to be double weak to rock, that double weakness can be exploited by a lot less powerful Pokemon, but Kyogre is going to be hit really hard with that Solar Beam, as well as any Pokemon for that matter, going to be hit pretty hard. I would say probably Zekrom, as well as potentially Aggron, are going to be doing the best during that sunny weather Solar Beam combination. In partly cloudy, it's going to boost all of our rock type counters. So during this time frame, guys, the rock type counters are going to be doing the best for you. Then we have during the cloudy weather is not really going to have too much an effect of this Pokemon, but the windy weather is definitely going to be having an effect because it's going to boost the extra sensory, right? So it's going to make that more powerful. So maybe something like the Terrakion is not going to be the best Pokemon to use during that time frame. And then it's also going to boost the Brave Bird move. And then we have 2 more conditions that are going to affect the gameplay of this Pokemon. So we have the snowy weather, which is going to boost the Steel Wing. Not the biggest thing going on here, guys. Not really going to affect too much here. However, the other thing that is going to affect it is going to be the rainy weather. So rainy weather is going to boost all of our electric and water type Pokemon. So using something like a Kyogre or a Zekrom, even though they're not the most premier attackers, if it does have Solar Beam during this time frame, using the Zekrom is really going to do a lot of damage, and it's a great Pokemon to put in the #1 spot. So with all that said, how do I suggest you guys set up your parties? In the #1 spot, I would put either an Aggron or I would have the Zekrom. So those Pokemon are not going to be weak to any of the movesets that are going to be thrown out here. So they are safe Pokemon to put in the #1 spot, which I would then follow up with 2 different parties. Party number 1 is going to be the Solar Beam party. So this Pokemon is going to be going with those first 2, followed by things such as the Zekrom. We can put in the Aggron, we can also put in the Darmanitan as well as the Rayquaza, using it with the Ancient Power. So those Pokemon are definitely going to be probably the weaker party. Really suggest you guys, if you do use it, to make it with a lot of Pokemon, or you can just dodge the move. In the second party, it's going to be everything but the Solar Beam. This is going to be all of your rock type counters. Even though the Steel is going to be effective against the rock Pokemon, I don't really care that much, honestly, because the specials are really going to do the bulk of the damage, and since it doesn't have a Steel special, you guys are going to be okay by using the Zekrom or the Aggron, followed by all of those really dominant rock type Pokemon, which are going to take your party down the fastest. The only time you can't use those Pokemon is during the Solar Beam special, because they're all going to get KO'd unless you so choose to dodge the special. So that's going to do it, guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys get that shiny Ho-Oh. It's a beautiful shiny, absolutely love it. And if you do want to trade it, you're going to do that. But then also remember that Earthquake is going to be a legacy move, so if you need to get it, not really the most effective Pokemon, but you can get it, which is going to require an Elite Charge TM. So thank you guys for tuning in, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody who takes your support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace! I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.